All right, welcome back from the break. It's time to go to that clip from Torn. Check it out. Hope you enjoy.
Hello. Well, if it's got in tonight, then
Can we just make love last time?
Where are you going?
You know, you should really start locking the keypad on your phone. I don't know where you were. I heard everything.
Yeah, what is my world? What makes me feel? What is that voice inside of me?
I convinced him to make that decision.
Really?
Promotion. I was also thinking that maybe we should take our relationship to the next level. Just,
Hey, Jazz? The usual? Yeah.
Rough day.
So what ruined your day?
A really good friend betrayed our friendship. So what ruined your day?
I think my wife's cheating on me.
I can fly across the ocean. I can sail across the sea.
Hey!
I can do the impossible. I believe. Yeah. I can fly across the ocean. I can sail across the sea.
All right, that was a clip from Torn, starring one of our guests, Mr. Walter Maxfield Jones. See, Carlos kept on messing me up. He kept on doing that same thing.
I get that.
Now, when you talk about making movies, when you talk about doing it yourself, this whole independent film thing, why go that route as opposed to just trying to continue breaking into the traditional medium? Right.
the traditional. What do you mean with the traditional?
Well, you talk about Hollywood. You know, most people have this dream of going out to Hollywood and making it big. You know, writing films for Hollywood and directing and producing out of Hollywood. Why not go the traditional route? Or keep following the traditional route and make your own films?
Well, I think, like we said, there's no real one way to do it. But before you get to Hollywood, doing it on your own, you have complete autonomy.
Right.
You know, you can do whatever story you want, exactly how you want it. You may not have the resources Hollywood has, but you have complete autonomy of whatever you want, you choose to do. So, I mean, that's a great benefit. It's a great power. It's a great flexibility. You know, you do it on your pace, your schedule, and you use your friends or whoever you choose to put in your projects where you may not have that flexibility within the system of Hollywood. You know?
Now, before we went to break, Tewodross, so you're talking about the wealth of talent that's here between Baltimore and DC, this whole DMV area. Yeah. When you say wealth of talent, are you talking about actors? Are you talking about directors? Who's actually out there doing this? Because we don't hear about them.
Yeah, and I'm going to just say for the for the entire production, from cast to talent to the folks behind the scenes in terms of production, and just I'll mention Frank Jackson, obviously the director of Torn. I mean, just this brother's done a tremendous amount of work here in the DC area with his first piece with Lorenzo Loves. I got to get my titles back. Monica Lorenzo, I'm gonna mess with his title, but anyway. But the whole point is just that, I mean, he was able to shoot this film, get it screened, here in PG County, screened it over Magic Johnson Theater. So, kind of answering the questions you asked, I mean, in terms of the talent, it's here. It's just a matter of finding who's doing what, jumping on board, just like with Frank and Scott, the other filmmaker, Scott Rainey. It was a matter of them approaching me and just say, hey, this is a project. I mean, we're all like these three filmmakers, and each of us has a project we want to work on. So we all work on each other's projects for no money.
Right.
Most times, because there's no money. There's no money to pay anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
So I really would just suggest, finding the community that's out there, and then what you meant, the question you asked him earlier about why not go the traditional route. Those doors aren't very open to us oftentimes, and it'd be great to go the traditional route. I just don't think we can.
Right.
And if you wait to try to go the traditional route. You may not
wait
get your
forever.
film done. Exactly.
Right.
So, you know, again, it's across the board. We've got a huge community of production people right here in the DMV. Again, Baltimore, Virginia. So, I mean, with all the networks that are here and local TV stations, CTV, I mean, you have everything you need to make here. And actually, what I'm starting to notice is that Hollywood is paying attention to the independent films now. They used to be the independent, and now Hollywood. Now Hollywood is kind of, they've created like another market of independent films, you know. So they are paying attention to that. And then, like I say, going back to technology and the boost of the internet, folks that are distributing it that way, I mean, they're paying attention to how many people are getting how many hits on YouTube.
Of course.
So, you know, it's a matter of just getting it out there. There's no right or wrong way, you know, really.
I think my reason for going the independent route was a lot of my actor friends, if you looked at the resume, it said extra, you know, and I was like, I don't want to be typecast as an extra. I don't want to do, I don't want to be on set for 16, 18 hours a day and hope that they catch me walking by the camera, you know. Oh, look at me in the movie, that was me. You know? Did you see me? I was quick. No, I wanted to have lead roles. I wanted to have lead and principal roles. That way I can build up my resume. And so when I did make a transition, or when I do make the transition to New York or LA, I can say this is the body of work that I have. I can carry a film by myself. And so therefore you can cast me in your film in a principal role or in a lead role, because as you can see, I can do that. Also, it was to build up my acting reel as well, so that way when I sent it to agents and casting directors, they could see, okay, this guy can act, as opposed to you see me walking by the camera. You know, I wanted to have a body of work to be able to present and that I could be proud of. So that was my reason for going the independent route.
Now, going back about 7 years, Ryan and I actually met because I was actually trying to put one of my own short films into production. Of course, I didn't have the money to do it, but during that process, we actually held a couple of auditions. And I'm not sure if Ryan will agree with me, but I know we were struggling to find good acting talent. You know, we had a couple people who came through, but it was, I mean, we had some comedians, you know, that were actually on set. How important is networking in this area to get connected, and how do you actually find these roles that are out there in the area?
Networking is everything.
Right.
You have to network. That's in anything that you do, whether it's a business, and people do business with people that they like. So you have to also when you're networking, be sure not to burn your bridges as well.
That's right.
But you can find, I'll put a plug out to Brian Dragonuk. He is a very integral role. He plays a very integral part as far as casting and things of that nature in this area. There's also resources like Actors Access. There's resources, Craigslist, you know, whatever it may be, newspaper clippings, not MySpace, but Facebook, whatever. Everybody's using every form of social media to get their name out there and to get what roles are out there. Also, like I said, put yourself in that environment. The more that you say that you're an actor, the more that you say that you're a producer, the more other people will introduce you to other people. And when roles come about, they'll call you and you'll get emails and things of that nature. So like I said, it's networking and doing your research, do your homework.
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, so I would add to it, just what Walter said in terms of networking. I mean, you know, to his credit, he's a wonderful actor, both not only in film, but with theater too. And I would also say, look into, oh, he is. That's why he's wonderful, you know, and that's the thing. But theater, we have one of the hugest theatrical, you know, areas right here in DC. One of the biggest markets for theater is right here in DC.
Yeah.
People don't know there are more theaters here in DC than in other parts of the country outside of Broadway. So theater's a great place. Of course, I got to plug the universities, but we stay at Howard. I mean, there are other, you know, Holly Garima, who was a great kind of a mentor to me, filmmaker here in DC. You know, a lot of filmmakers, we just go up on Georgia Avenue, we just kind of sit under his wing and hang in his studio. So, you know, just using the social networking, you know, Facebook and all that type of thing. I have to plug a website which is called withoutabox.com.
And we'll plug more of those when we come back.
Definitely.
We have to run to a real quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation about the independent film scene right here in DC.